excited to hear about what you have to say about your platforms. Going ahead, starting with Silas, and then we'll move down the line. Let's just have everyone.
Thanks for hosting this event, Judge Greyson. I really appreciate it on behalf of the people of Blaine County.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that, Fred. I'm going to ask each of you guys just to give a quick little synopsis of your talking points and what platform you guys are moving forward with. So, Silas, why don't you go ahead?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name's Silas. I'll be running for the mayorship of Los Santos County. And
yeah, thank you the 88 months.
Essentially focuses
Nino
on
for
one main
Mayoral
thing, and that's trying to bring a sense of community back together. You know, I've lived here a long time, and I was here under our previous government regime. And it seems like somewhere along the way, we lost a lot of our communal sense and purpose as a city and as a county of Los Santos. And so I aim to leverage the mayorship position to hopefully remedy that. And that means being an advocate for people that are throwing events, for people that are trying to spin up businesses to sell the products and services that they wish, and being a voice and a friend to you all. And I sincerely hope that through the questions that you'll get to ask today, you'll get to learn more about my platform as well as the platform of the other candidates standing to my left. And I look forward to diving into the specifics. Thank you.
All right, amazing. Butch, you're up.
All right. How's it going, Los Santos? How we doing today? Good to hear, good to hear. I want to let you know that I do not intend on winning this election. Most of you are probably going to vote for this man right here, and I would too. He is a great candidate. I'm a businessman. I own a business because of this man. He put legislation forward to make that happen. You and I both want to see this guy here in office.
What the fuck?
We can all agree on that. But let me tell you this. I want to put myself as an option as well. And you know what? The first thing I'm going to do, if given the opportunity to lead you into a bright new future, I'm going to give every job, institution, and welfare agency a buff. You will all be making a lot more money, which means you'll have to work a lot less, which means you'll be enjoying your time a lot more in this city. We come to this beautiful city, and what do? We all get to work. We all go out and strive to be better and more. I want to make that a little easier for y'all, so you can enjoy the time with your loved ones and friends around you. Vote for Butch. Buy Butch Bonds. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Butch. All right, Nino, you're up.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? First and foremost, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for giving me an opportunity over the last 3 months to try to help develop Los Santos County into what it is today. My administration managed to pass 30 pieces of legislation allowing for events, of which we have paid out over $10 million across various events. Reignited the music industry via amps. Brought the count of businesses from 14 from the past administration up to 40. We have finally been able to pay EMS and doctors a fair wage, and we wish to continue to do so. We have brought the EMS helicopter into the hands of EMS, which we hope to see soon, so that they don't have to go around banging their EMS, vehicle up and down Mount Chiliad while you sit there waiting, hoping that you don't die and bleed out. The material crisis when we took office was absolutely absurd. Between sanitation workers getting robbed and all that material going into fucking Bitcoin or whatever the hell it was. Through the creation of MOPEC and our partners, we have been able to fund the mechanic shops directly so that you, the people, can get your repairs. I'd like to point out that we now have 3 times as many mechanic shops as we did before I entered into office. Journalism and freedom of press is now protected via legislation. And quite a bit more. The reason you should ask yourself, why should I vote for Nino? Why should I vote for his cabinet of hardworking individuals? We wish to continue representing you. And after these last 3 months, we are looking to refocus our efforts of taking what we have done, bringing it to the next level, and looking over each and every piece of legislation that is preventing you, the people of Los Santos County and the state of San Andreas, from being underrepresented, having your rights violated. We're going to make the change necessary to make sure that you can walk these streets safely and that each branch of government has your say attached to it.
All right. Thank you, Nino. And for Blaine County candidate Kyle Pred, you're up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle Pred, future mayor of Blaine County. For some of you, I have your support, and for some of you, I don't. But after today, I assure you that I will have your support. You see, I look at Blaine County and I see everything that it could be. But when I currently still look at Blaine County, all I see is what it isn't. Blaine County is a wasteland at the moment. These poor people are suffering. Their businesses are not being approved. Legislation is not being passed to ensure their rights. Their voices are not being heard. For too long has the previous administration catered to the few instead of the many. And I stand before you today to tell you that your voice will be heard. I will make sure that everything is running. I will make sure that you are up to date on all legislation even before it passes. You will have a voice. In fact, I encourage you. And will, in fact, make sure that you are paid when it comes to submitting legislation. Blaine County needs to grow, and the only way that Blaine County can grow is if we work together as the people. The previous administration did not uphold and uplift the public of Blaine County. You have been wronged. You have been misled. And I sit here before you today to tell you that I will be the one that will lead you. I put Blaine County on the map when I was the sheriff. When I left Blaine County, what did it become? Nothing. I assure you that I will put Blaine County back on the map. Blaine County will be a shining jewel in the north. People will look up north and they will see the future. Currently, what is the future for Blaine County on the current trajectory with the administration? I ask you that. How are you benefiting the people? What are you getting from the government up north? I can tell you that the BCSO sure gets a lot of attention, especially with the proposed and passed unconstitutional legislation actually violating the rights of the people to vote for a true sheriff. You've all seen the legislation that Andy Jones has passed. And I'm sure that a lot of you like Andy Jones. I, for one, do like her. But what was accomplished? There hasn't been a piece of legislation even submitted or approved for 2 months. When's the last time that the people of Blaine County came together to discuss the needs of the people of Blaine County? Business proposals go unapproved, untouched, and unread for months. The people suffer. The people want jobs up north. The people want to act. But the people, due to the current administration, are not allowed to do it. I stand before you today to tell you that with me leading the charge, your voice will be heard. I will not back down. What do you think my opponents will do when someone starts barking at them? They will back down immediately and tell you it can't be done. But I tell you today that I will yell, scream, and fight back to protect your rights, and I will get it done. Every day you are losing more and more of your constitutional rights. The current DOJ has failed you. The current seating justices have failed you. They don't care about your points. They don't care about your propositions.
Logan's
for
taking
anything.
39 months.
Legislation gets passed in the middle of the night, and they go around doing their own processes. Meanwhile, you have to do your own processes, or you will be jailed, or it is unconstitutional. For too long has the powers to be been a singular person. And I stand before you today, and I tell you that I will challenge the authoritarian government that is currently in place in the state of San Andreas as a whole. You matter. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. I want to hear them all. I want you to succeed. We have to uphold the people. The few have benefited too long. You will be taken care of. I will be making sure of it personally. In my administration, I will find the people that will get everything done. I've already done a good job finding the people who care about the North. And for the first time in our city's history, what has happened to you as the voter? Are you even aware that you have less voting power today than you did just 5 days ago? No legislation was passed to change the voting rights of the citizens. You are a resident of San Andreas. You have a say in who is mayor anywhere. Are you happy that your rights have been violated, that your rights have been halved, and still there's nothing that can be done about it? I assure you there is something that can be done about it. Vote Kyle Pred for mayor of Blaine County, because I won't give up like Andy Jones did. I will be there every day for 3 months. I will work hard to fight for you. I care about you. And I promise you that the North will be the greatest it's ever been.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pred. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So with that, we're going to move into our first few questions that we have. We'll again just go down the line, starting with Silas. The first question we have up is, let's see. Where do you see your individual counties being at the end of your mayorship if you are elected?
Yeah, happy to take this one as the first response. I'd say after 3 months of myself as mayor, I envision Los Santos County to be, again, going back into the thematics of my opening statement, have a much larger sense of community, be on better relations with Blaine County, while also obviously standing up for our county's interests first and foremost, and generally just continuing the economic growth that we've had in the months since the borders reopened. I think we've made strides, and under my direction and me serving the county, that trajectory shall not change.
All right, great. Butch?
That's a plus.
Could I get
Nino.
the question said to me again?
Yes, at the end of your mayorship, if you are elected, where do you see the city?
Well, I see the city as in a already interesting place. And at the end of the day, a single individual getting anything done, well, you got to think about it realistically. I like to say that after my 3 months of given the privilege of leading these fine people, that we'd be in a much more different position than we was the prior 3 months. And I'll leave it to that.
All right. Nino?
That's a great question. I mentioned during my opening, I'm a strong believer in the democratic process and representation. We had created the LSCMO Legislative Review Board, of which some of the people in the crowd are a part of. It was our way to allow the people of Los Santos County and greater to be able to review every piece of legislation that was being drafted and to propose suggestions, new things that might be desired, so that everyone could see what was coming, comment on it before it landed in the hands of the DOJ. I'd like to iterate on that process. And what my team and many members of the Los Santos County have discussed and come to the conclusion of is we want to create 5 districts. 5 districts of which each one will have a representative elected in, a civilian. They'll act as the voice of the various communities across Los Santos County. And via them and my cabinet, we'll take the ideas, the problems, resolve them, turn them into legislation, and push it forward. So if Vespucci has an issue, they will not go underrepresented. They'll have their voice. If Cyprus has an issue, they will not feel underrepresented. They'll have a voice. Representative democracy. That's what I'd like to see at the end of 3 months.
Very interesting. And Mr. Pred.
You know, one thing before I answer your question there, Judge Arcadia, is I would like to point out that currently on Twitter, who are the ones that are advocating for Eve Summers as mayor? The people who benefit from her most. They are selfish. As to what will become at the end of my mayorship, where do I see the city? It's a 2-part question. I first will say that I know that there will be more unification between the bodies of governments in this city, between the North and the South. The previous administration refused to work with Mr. Chavez, and I stand before you today to tell you that I will make sure, as it is important, that I work with the Southern mayor. Now, as to up north, there will be people there. There will be jobs that will be created there. I already have showcased tons of jobs on votepred.com, and I tell you that that doesn't even scratch the surface. People will be working. People will be happy, happier than they've ever been. People will not want me to leave the office of Blaine County. And right now, as I'm saying that, some of you are probably thinking, ain't no way. Kyle Pred, greatest mayor we've ever seen? But give me 3 months in office. You know what? Fuck it. In my first week, I'll achieve more in office than the previous administration. You want to know something? In my first fucking few days, I will achieve more than the previous administration. You, the people, will be heard. You, as the people, will never feel more empowered than you will in Blaine County under me as your leader. I promise to lead you to a greater future. I ensure it.
Amazing. All right. I'll only have one other question because I think we'd all far rather hear from the public about any questions they might have for you. So, who will be serving with you on your mayor cabinet, whether it be deputy mayors or other people of staff? Silas.
Yeah, before diving into the people that I have selected thus far, I'd like to also say, my cabinet is constantly evolving and constantly growing. I'm always looking for bright-minded individuals that would like to, serve in the same fashion that I intend to. With that being said, if I do win the mayorship, I'd love to have conversations with anyone that would like to make themselves a part of the good old crew and serve the county well. As for the people that I have with me thus far, my approach to selecting my cabinet was to identify some of my own shortcomings and use my cabinet positions to plug those holes, so to speak, and make the whole team better as a result. I'm never afraid to identify areas where I need to improve. So with that in mind, one of the first areas I looked at was ensuring that none of the legislation that I will write will be confusing or create loopholes. And as such, I have had discussions with some lawyers who are very well versed in writing legal documents and legislation to make sure that when you all go to City Hall to read a new piece of legislation, it makes sense and it's not confusing and it doesn't create a bunch of issues down the line. And so thus far, those lawyers are Mr. Robin Ferrara and Slick Rick, who I have full confidence in. Secondly, I have an accountant, a spreadsheet wizard, if you will, by the name of Vince Payne, a longtime civilian and previous business owner.
It's all BCSO.
To make sure that
treating.
Everything budget-wise is up to snuff, that the county is not bleeding any financial resources anywhere, not overspending on your tax dollars, and way that money can be reinvested into the community, as I previously said. Really looking to uplift you guys, your businesses, your events, and the way to do that is to not spend as much. And therefore, that is why I have picked a financial savant in Vince Payne to also help me with my cabinet.
All right, amazing. Butch, what's your cabinet looking like?
So it's probably going to be a team of lawyers and accountants, and anybody I can interview and see the potential in. I'd like to establish the Los Santos Board of Accountancy, an official board for all financial transactions and matters to flow through. That would essentially make up the cabinet. First weekend, I guess, would just be some accountants and lawyers, for the most part.
All right. Nino.
Absolutely.
Like anything changing?
Yeah, things are gonna be changing a bit. We got Abilene Costello. We got Archibald McRae, the press secretary. Got Michael Rozelle, director of communications. Many of you have met him for a lot of the COC related stuff. We got Tilly Winters, executive assistant. Mina Rocket, who's a part of our Chamber of Commerce. Arthur McGuire, who is a legal aid and worked in sanitation for a while. We are looking to expand a bit further from that, specifically in the area of business, as the reality of the matter is that you can write legislation all day. Construction may never come. But there is opportunity through creativity and through subsidies to create something out of nothing. So we have taken on Kevin Ram and a couple other unnamed individuals that have been in the business space for some time to help develop more and new opportunities, be it bringing life to grime again, having production for vegetables, maybe legalized moonshine up north, having it transported down the restaurant. So we're going to be expanding in the business space in terms of a cabinet. But as I've said to members of the public, if you want to assist, you want to be a part of the team, just talk to us. We're willing to take anyone that's interested. Now, I will say that some of our cabinet will be slimmed down, as some are actually running to become judges. So, Ava Devereaux being one of them. Great person. All right.
Amazing. Fred, what's your cabinet looking like?
I was gonna twat this out instead, but Aspen Gray sucks and fuck the BCSO. They can all suck my dick.
Mr. Pratt,
As
please.
to who's gonna be a part of my administration, currently, I am putting together a key legislative team. Now then, my goal, right now I have about 4 people on the legislative team. I'm looking to grow that to 6 or 7. The idea there is that I want the public to be able to work with my legislative team. I want the public to really help shape the North, and I really want to help guide them. As far as my current administration, it's more about the administration that I'm going to create when I come into office. I really want to ensure that the people in Blaine County have a say who's in my cabinet, who's in my staffing. I want Blaine County to approve of the people that I surround myself with, so I can make sure that their voices are heard. There's no point in me bringing in people that don't understand Blaine County and the people. That's why, in the first several days, I'm going to be having tons of meetings with the public of Blaine County, trying to find out, and I'm going to be making people aware of the positions that are available, so that we can make sure that the people of Blaine County are the ones representing and working alongside myself to make Blaine County better than it is now. Which right now, it isn't much, because the previous administration failed them immensely. I mean, all Andy Jones and the administration did was empower the BCSO. In fact, you know, I remember a few months ago that you weren't even allowed to endorse a political client. But of course, with a tyrannical dictator like Brittany Angel sitting at the helm, ushering in a new era of bullshit that fucks everybody over while we all suffer. I mean, seeing a judge is like seeing a fucking unicorn. Ghost legislation written in the night. Everything that I and my administration do will be public and discussed with the people. You will be able to access Reddit so that you will be able to have your voice be heard. You will be able to share your opinions and ideas, both in a forum and as well at the Toga Tuesdays.
Oh.
All right then. At this time, I am going to open up the forum to any public questions. If anyone has a question, feel free to come up, and we'll just start an orderly line right here at the microphone.
What's Reddit?
Come on up, yeah.
No.
We have such a
Hi,
big cabinet.
Nice to meet you.
I forgot Wyatt's name too.
My name's Yolando Capoli. I just have a question for you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know how many more years I got left to live, but I want to make sure that I'm taken care of whenever I'm living. What are you gonna do to make sure that I can make sure I'm well fed, well housed, and make sure that I can still pursue
Get a
the
job,
American
you
dream?
old bitch.
I'm going to increase the welfare for everybody. You're going to be able to go to the bank more often to pick up more money. How does that sound?
Okay, where's that money gonna come from?
Well, is that part of the first question, or I thought you were asking that one question.
Okay, you've confused me now.
Well, listen, I think confusion stems from a lack of finances provided to you through necessary means, right? And I can solve that problem quite easily. More financial benefits for the elderly and weak.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to answer this question as well.
Go ahead.
Perfect. As you all have known, as you're familiar with votepred.com, we're leading in traffic. We have the highest traffic of anyone in Blaine County. And that's not just due to the fact that I'm the only one with a website. We would be leading anyway. I want you to know that I am enacting the Sanguine Relief Fund for the veterans of this city. Now then, how old are you, young man?
I'm like 82. I don't know.
82?
I
Jesus
stopped tracking
fucking
it
Christ.
after
Did you
50.
drive here? Someone take your keys. Listen. Look here, fella. I believe that, fuck, you're old as shit. Look, I believe that people like you should have access to everything that you need. And being that we don't have a large margin of elderly individuals, I would love to say that Kyle Pred will be adding the old fucking elderly fund, pending name, to make sure that people like this old fuck are taken care of properly. Now, the one thing I have a problem with, did you drive here?
No, sir.
Thank fucking God.
But I can drive. I could be your chauffeur.
No, I don't want anyone to get killed.
No, listen, Okay, that's fine. I understand.
Some people can't work. And I think those people should be able to go to the bank and pick up a decent wage. They're too old, they're too frail.
Not capable of working?
Not you, sir, but some. Some
I
can't
feel
work.
personally attacked.
So you need to make
All
sure
right.
those people can eat too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, me
thanks,
too.
guys.
All
Well,
right.
I'm happy to answer this question as well. It's a great question, Mr. Capoli. Thank you. You bring up two very good points in your question. You want to be well-fed and well-housed. And as everyone here can relate, both those are really fucking hard at the moment. Our food stalls are only open for about 4 hours out of the day, and the housing crisis has been going on for months now. Now, those are two problems that I aim to address. I
How
want
is
to
it
make sure
gonna
that our
address
food
that?
stalls are open longer so that people can actually get a meal when they need it, and they don't have to resort to social media
Yeah.
to get these stalls open. And I want to make sure that I'm having conversations with real estate agents to see what we can do about getting more housing on the market. Because unfortunately, we have people buying up property as soon as it comes up, and that leaves everyday people left, without an apartment or a new home should they want one. And I personally have been dealing with this issue. I live in the Little Seoul apartments, like many of you, and I would like to see a change. So thank you
Yeah.
for bringing up two very good points, Mr. Capoli.
Okay.
All
thanks,
right.
guys.
All right. It's an old guy.
Alrighty. Sean, come on up.
No need to counter.
Hello, hello. This is a question for all the candidates. What is your stance on felons owning businesses?
I can answer that. First and foremost, felons should own businesses. If we, the people, do not give felons an opportunity and an avenue to find an alternative means to keep themselves occupied, an alternative means to provide for themselves and their family, then they will continue to remain felons, which is why we've legalized felons being able to own businesses in Los Santos County, and we'll continue to support that. Whether you're a felon or not should not prevent you from being able to look after yourself and have a bright future.
I'd like to jump in and answer after Mr. Chavez, if that's okay.
Go right ahead, Fred.
I believe that we live in a society unlike any other. I mean, hell, on this little island paradise that we live in, 95% of the fucking people are felons. In a perfect world, I wish that it could be felons not able to own businesses, out of all honesty. But we live in an imperfect world and an imperfect society due to the failed administration led by Andy Jones and her cabal up north and a tyrannical dictator down here named Brittany Angel. I blame them for this. They're not creating jobs, so of course people are going to turn to crime. I stand before you right here now to say, I will create jobs so that there's less crime.
Yeah.
I will make sure of that. And I would like to add BCSO to my dick. I don't need you BCSO. Fuck you guys.
Hey.
Keep supporting fucking, the Andy Jones cabal that fucking caters to your every whim, you bunch of fucking crybaby pussies. All you guys do is bitch about shit constantly. Being around you guys is like a fucking bane to existence. Whenever I see you, I immediately just go, damn, I just hope this motherfucker don't talk to me.
If I might just add on to that, I want to share a story with you, and it's going to be pretty brief. There was an individual that's been working at a food stall for months, and you might know who I'm referencing. And after this man was shot down after attempting to protect himself, he immediately was given the felon tag. His life in that moment was ending. His opportunities were taken off the table. And I'm sure many of you have friends and family who have gone through similar, where you're in the wrong place, the wrong time. People don't believe you. You get slapped into jail, and now all your opportunities taken away. Not under my administration. Fuck that shit. Fuck waiting 2 months to try to get see the light of court. No. We cannot take away the right of felons from being able to run businesses and have the opportunities. The system is not designed for that.
I'll jump in here next. I second what these two to my left say. My right. They speak truth. Felons should be able to have opportunities in this city. Anywhere they go, they should have an opportunity, which is exactly why I want to bring those opportunities and value to the city and surrounding areas. I want felons. Felons, you guys like to live your life. You guys go out there and do your thing. A lot of the times, you don't have the time to start a business. What would be better than that would be to have a job that fits your lifestyle. How would you felons like to work on an oil rig? Or potentially the mines, pulling out those valuable resources that the earth has, that we need, that would pay more than any business could possibly pay. It'd be a business on its own. You could have your own business. You could have your cake and eat it too. You wouldn't even need to worry about the tribulations of it. All you need is an opportunity, and I know exactly that opportunity.
I want to answer again. I want to add on to my previous answer, Judge
Fred, I need to
Arcadia.
make sure I give form to the other candidates, though. Can I have Silas?
Can
speak
you just
first?
tag me in?
Fred, I'll tag you in right after. I got you, man. Don't worry.
Perfect,
Thank
perfect.
I got you. Yeah, you know, some of the most talented and business-minded and creative people that I've met are felons, and despite that, they have ran extremely successful businesses, and to try and take that away from them would be essentially extinguishing that talent and that creativity, and thus hurting the economy as a result. I have no intention of changing the current standard that felons may own businesses. You know, I want to support business in all forms. And Pred, I'm throwing the metaphorical football over to you.
Hey, I'm going to catch that metaphorical football with my mouth. Yeah. Now then, that's me
That was
spitting
impressive.
out the metaphorical football. Touchdown! Now listen, I would like to add on to what I said because I believe it's important. Because I believe that the people of Blaine County should also have a say. Maybe what the answer is stricter guidelines to businesses. I mean, how many of these fucking businesses are being used as fucking stash houses? You know? What we have to do is we have to sit down and discuss what we as the people in the North want to accomplish and achieve. That's what we need to do. Is the answer stricter guidelines? The people get to say, my opinion is secondary to what the people want. And that is something that you're not used to. Because you're used to a failed administration that didn't value what you say, and a tyrannical dictator in the South ghostwriting legislation in the night taking away your fucking rights. I stand before you today to tell you, we will have businesses and they will be great!
All right.
Thank you to answer my question.
Thank you, Sean. All right, next up, Mr. Charles. Or sorry, Officer Charles.
How's it going up there, everybody?
Wait, did he?
Good.
Charles, did
Hey,
you
Officer
just go in
Charles.
front of-
Hey,
No,
You're
no,
a
it's
service
it's
member.
okay. It's good. Yeah. So, how's it going up there, Mr. Pred?
Going good there, Officer Charles. Thanks for coming to the debate today.
It's beautiful. You know, I'm mostly focused on who's gonna run Blaine County in particular. What's going on?
Don't you
My
pick
fucking
that up.
dick and
Bobby
balls,
Charles,
you dumb
pick up
bitch.
that
Hang on.
phone, I'm kicking you out of
Yeah.
line.
You know, as an LSPD officer, I think that it's important to know who's going to be leading Blaine County as I work. God fucking damn it!
Bobby, silence your phone.
Okay, it's silent. It's silent. What I was saying was, as working with the LSPD, it's very important that I know who's going to be overseeing some of the BCS stuff. And Fred, you know, as
Oh,
a citizen and also an
shit!
employee, can you give me some sort of insight of why Eve Summers isn't present at this debate? Do you believe that she might be, do you consider, do you have any insight on why she's not here, Fred?
I believe I do. Cowardice. I mean, to stand before the people that the previous administration, they let them down. They let you down statewide. I mean, why would she not come here to defend her platform to you?
Maybe she thinks
Well,
that
how-
she's too important. High
Shut
and
the
mighty,
fuck up!
somebody.
I'm talking!
Yes, sir.
Andy Jones and her cabal that ran up north playing charades with the BCSO as they all drove around in their cars and gossiped all day about dumb shit that no one gives a fuck about. What did they accomplish? Truly nothing. The people lost out. These last 3 months were a fucking waste. Now then, as to why Eve Summers isn't here, I'd be a little worried too if I had to defend a platform that is essentially saying and standing on the fact that the previous administration was successful, when it obviously isn't. Nothing's going on up north. What's going on up north? You tell me. I've been talking to the people. All the people. You know what's one thing all of them shared to me? Well, this is the first time I heard about you since Andy Jones announced she was running for mayor, and Eve Summers hasn't talked to me yet. She's putting no effort into her campaign because she wants to get by on the previous administration's love for Andy Jones and vote. She feels she has to put no effort into a debate because she feels like she already has you in her pocket. She is playing you for suckers, and you're allowing it to happen. I'm here fighting tooth and nail for your support every day, even though I know I have to fight harder than anyone else. Because I know who I am. I'm a loud, obnoxious, egotistical, in quotations, madman. But I stand before you and say, I've never been arrested for a felony. I uphold the law. I used to be the sheriff. I was a marshal for a little bit before I was unjustly terminated from my job due to what exactly? Does the public even know? I fucking don't know. There was no bearing of proof. Eve Summers is a coward, and that's why she's not here, Mr. Charles.
That right there is beautiful.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right.
Okay, go right on.
Hey, what up, big dog?
Hey, how's it going? I have a question for you, Mr. Pred.
Holla at me.
All right, how are you going to bring money into the Blaine County economy and help businesses flourish? And also, do you have a website where we can access your campaign?
Perfect. Well, to answer the last question, votepred.com has so much traffic, it's crazy. I'm going to tell you something. The traffic over at votepred.com is insane. We're constantly updating it. New pictures, new stuff is going up there every day. Now, as far as putting money into the Blaine County economy, there's quite a few ideas. You see, my ideas, a lot of things that I want to achieve in office is I want to lower taxes in Blaine County and encourages more business to go up there. Especially when I'm going to be giving away free business licenses to anybody who wants to open a business in Blaine County. My main plan for pumping the economy is going to be, well, I'll say it here. It's already public on my website. I'm surprised it hasn't been stolen yet by the previous administration and Eve Summers. We will have contract bids for a grow-op in order to get weed and marijuana into dispensaries for legal purchase by the civilians of this city. So what that means exactly is that groups, individuals, whoever will be able to bid on this contract in order to get up north to have a legal grow-op. Now, what does that mean? It means exactly, it's as simple as that. The money goes into our economy, enabling us to do more things up north, to create more jobs, delivery jobs.
This is our plan.
Maintaining the border, making sure that everyone's paid, including the BCSO, even though I don't like them that much, they do gladly contribute to the north as they cherish it. But they're also fucking stupid as shit, and they don't know what's good for them because they don't care about anything other than themselves because they're fucking selfish.
Yeah.
Money will be going into our economy very early on into my mayorship because we need it. I need to be able to take care of you. I need to be able to give you everything that you want and need. And I promise you that we're going to have so much money, we won't know what to do with it all. So much money, we won't have any idea what to do with it.
All right.
No further questions.
I could actually answer this question for Los Santos's end as well.
Okay.
Best way I can sum up bringing money into this town is through the means of new jobs. Everybody needs something to do, right? Something fun that pays well. Also, through the sale of treasury bonds to each individual. you can invest your money in these bonds and have it grow over time. It'll be a great way for you to invest, and it'll be a great way to bring money into the economy to then be redistributed back out into said economy.
All right, great.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Wait, Greyson, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Judge Greyson, how are you doing today, sir?
Now, currently a judge, Mr. Pred. But
Once
how
a
you
judge,
doing?
always a judge to me. It's about respect for me. How you doing today, sir?
I'm having a good day. So, here's my question to you. You've all generally discussed at some point a relationship working within your own cabinets with members of the Department of Justice. So, my question to you is, what kind of relationship are you going to foster with our current Department of Justice to make sure that your policies are seen through to their conclusion? And what happens if you get kickback on those policies? Well, how are you going to overcome those roadblocks?
Absolutely.
Want me to take this first?
You can, I can.
Yeah, go ahead. We can go from left to right.
Yeah, I'm down for
Perfect. Now then, being that a judge only wakes up about, I don't know, once every goddamn 2 weeks, what am I going to do when there's pushback? Fight tooth and nail for what the people want. Because the DOJ is going to have to explain to people why their brain-dead decisions are affecting negatively impacting the North. We have to hold these people accountable. The North will prosper. The DOJ right now is failing. It's never been this bad. We need to breathe life into that dying, dead, white-haired, goddamn witch. We need to breathe life into it. We need to perform CPR on it. It's dead. It's been in the water for 10 minutes. There's been no oxygen flow to the brain. There's a permanent damage being done here. There has to be some type of technology that we can, there has to be something that can be done. Because when I look around, it's not just the DOJ. Tons of institutions are failing. And nobody's doing anything about it. I will do something about it. I will make sure of it. I will be a relentless bulldog, even if I gotta send emails, as much as I hate doing that, to make sure that the ball is rolling. The waiting process
Has to
there's
match it and
people who
meme
have
it?
had business proposals submitted for months, not reviewed by the previous administration. There's actually been signed business proposals awaiting DOJ to authorize them. 30 plus days.
Oh
What's the
my
excuse?
God. What the fuck?
We have to wake up and publicly say, you are failing us. You are dropping the ball. You are to blame. Brittany Angel, you are to blame.
All right, Nino.
Okay.
Response?
We've had to deal with quite a bit of this, and we've seen, be it legislation being contested while we were sleeping, waking up, and galvanizing the people to help support the passing of business legislation. We've had to deal with responses to legislation where there was an inaptitude and inability to read the common standard English language. We've dealt with these things by with perseverance and energy, and that's really what it comes down to. With each and every problem comes figuring out a path to the end. Now, that could mean something as simple as having a conversation with a judge directly if they are available. It may mean getting feedback from the public and responding back as necessary. I am not somebody that likes to hear no. I like to hear yes and how. And I think that's kind of the philosophy that we handle each and every one of these sort of circumstances. No is never an option.
Amazing. Butch, you're up.
Could you ask that question again real quick for me? I'm sorry.
What kind of relationship are you going to foster with the Department of Justice? And how are you going to overcome any obstacles that come across any of your future policies?
I could almost guarantee there would be none whatsoever. I am a businessman. I'm a silver-tongued individual who can negotiate and talk his way through anything. I'd like to think that there are tides, right? We're all moving in a tide, a rushing water. It's important to move with the tide and seeing how we can kind of swim against it in a way that kind of guides us in the right direction that we're all trying to get to.
You don't swim against it, you swim diagonal.
I'm speaking metaphorically, Kyle.
Oh, sorry.
Point is, I think it's important that we all work together. Work towards the best interest
I
of the
think that
people.
woman's coming at me in the skirt. Oh, she jumped back. Sorry. The Andy Jones crime family runs deep.
Sorry, no, that scares you.
We all got to work together. We all got to make sure these things that we need come full circle. We need to work around that circle and make sure what getting done is getting done.
All right. Silas.
Yeah, my plan is to have legislation that is wanted by the people, that people have voiced their interest in and their advocacy for. And should there be any pushback from the DOJ, I am a firm believer in working things out via, talk and conversations. I would imagine that any pushback would stem from a mindset of, what is going to be the cause and effect of this legislation, and how do we future-proof our new laws and our new pieces that we push forward. And the solution can definitely stem from conversation. We can talk about all the ins and outs of it and what the perceived results would be and any potential side effects or shortcomings. And my plan is just to be civil and to work those things out ahead of time while still advocating for the wants and needs of the people of the county.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Stand the fuck up. You look ridiculous right now. Stand up at least.
All right. Next question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Simmons.
I thought that was Wyatt.
In the city, I do sanitation, lumber, even some fur to supply the citizens of Los Santos to be able to build their furniture and supply their sanitation needs, including MOPEC orders that current Mayor Nino has implemented. Because of this, I am, firsthand accountable of what the difficulties on the business side is, and many businesses, including the one I work for, and many small businesses have the main issue of not being able to get their hands on a commercial or residential property to be able to operate their business out of. How do each one of your administrations plan to address this issue in the next mayor term?
I've got this right now. I can tell you. I can take this right now.
I'm going to take this one right now.
Kyle, please take it. I want to hear what you got.
Wait. Kyle, you started the last time. I want Silas to start with this one.
Yeah, happy to start. Yeah, I
disagree.
That's a shame.
As I was saying, as I previously said, I am a firm believer in expanding the current real estate market, and that certainly goes for commercial properties as well. I have seen them essentially fly right off the app in mere seconds, leaving many business owners to wonder if they will ever get their hands on one. And my solution to that is, in addition to, running things up the chain and seeing what we can do about getting some new properties, I would love to explore some prerequisites for commercial properties to have.
As Nino spoke, yeah, Nino
would
has
essentially be actual businesses operating out of them.
Yep.
I myself have the perfect solution to this very problem that we all have. It is very simple. We need a grand exchange. Does anybody know what that is? It is a centralized hub. RuneScape, exactly. Just like old school RuneScape, we need a grand exchange where we can all gather. A central hub for trade. We can list items that we've harvested, crafted, whatever it is, services. You can list it on the grand exchange. It'll be open 24/7. You can go there any day of the week, find what you need, list a contract for what you might need, and have it fulfilled by a worker. This
Yeah.
would create so much business, and it would create a lot of circulation in the economy. It would be great for people who don't have any sort of resources at all.
Yeah.
They could go buy a pickaxe or an axe, go mine some rocks out of the mine, go hit a few trees, go take their wood, their rocks, go list them on the Grand Exchange, come back later. Oh, hey, look, I made a bunch of money. And I didn't even need to go and figure out how to do all that. That was easy.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need to bring convenience to people's lives. Convenience is where the real value lies, and that's what I intend to do to solve that problem.
All right, Nino.
Absolutely fantastic idea, Butch. This is very in line with something me and Kevin Ram have been cooking up for some time. A building in which gatherers of different resources or producers of different parts or whatnot can go and list up their products, and members of such an exchange can then go and deposit those into boxes with lock codes on them, similar to how like Amazon operates. So if you're producing lumber and whatnot as an independent contractor, you come in, you sell it to the staff. Someone makes a purchase online or through the system. It gets put into one of like the 50 boxes. You put in the pin code and you got your stuff. However, that doesn't address the main concern that you brought up, which is residential properties, because people want to be able to expand out and have something that they feel is their own. I can let you know that we have proposed to the state a couple weeks back, and it's a question of whether or not it will happen, is for the mayor of Blaine County and for the mayor of Los Santos County to have the control of listing new available properties up on the market, either via auction, either via adding a bunch of real estate agents that can then take the bidding, or number three, allow the bidding to take place live. Because the problem right now, as was mentioned by Silas, is that we have a lot of bad actors. Two in particular, whose name I won't expose right now, who sit there watching and fucking refreshing the goddamn realtor page until the properties come up, and then they take all their fucking G6 money or all the money that they made scamazing people all over the state and buying up millions of dollars of property and then selling it for double and triple. That cannot happen. That stifles businesses. If we do not get those systems in place, there are alternatives. And that means targeting folks, targeting buildings, houses that are not used, and getting them foreclosed. Number three, for those who may not want to give up their property for reasons, be it monetary, purchasing up that property and then having a county auction for it. Because you are absolutely right. When you drive around the city, there's so many buildings that are just boarded up. That needs to change. And if we do not get the toolings for it, we need to find legislative ways to do so.
A lot of good ideas, Mr. Chavez. Honestly, I'd like to add on to that. The ideas that I've been thinking about have been pretty similar. We can't allow the market to be sharked by people who have no life and refuse to sleep. For too long, have the rich just been waking up to buy property for the sake of resale or holding on to it. There needs to be a system in check that allows for people to have a chance to buy a home. Now, I'm not saying that this is what I'm going to do, because I need to talk to the people up north to find out what satisfies them. But what I've been thinking is essentially, let's discuss business properties first, okay? Business properties are tough to come by. Business properties are essential to getting a business going. An idea that I'm going to propose is I will approach people who own businesses. I will tell them, hey, look, you own this business property. Do you have a job? Do you have a business proposal in? Are you planning to get a business proposal in? And then it'll be expedited so that we can get that business up and running if they do. Now, on to the second part. Let's say they don't have a proposal and they don't intend to use the building as a business. I will simply approach them and say, hey, how do you feel about renting this business out to an individual to run a business from it, as well as getting paid by the state to allow them to operate in this business? Sorry, I misspoke. Paid by the county. Something like $50,000 a week, something like that. I think that would be good. Now, things start to get a little bit more severe because you understand this. The people who want businesses, you understand this better than anybody. What are you to do? Then, as the mayor and as the representative of the people, when the people say we want businesses, we want to own businesses, but we cannot. Simply, I will approach them and offer to buy out their property on behalf of the county to get somebody in there, and it'll either be a county-owned building, or perhaps it'll just be sold. Hey, shut the fuck up! Hey, they stole them. You guys gonna let them steal your fucking barriers? Do something. All you useless BCO fucks standing around. No one's gonna do nothing about that.
State,
fucking pathetic.
State ground.
Fucking pathetic. Now then, what happens in the situation when it escalates again and they refuse to sell the property, they refuse to operate out of the property? What are you to do? I am not the type of person that wants to take away people's businesses, because I feel like that's against that is against my principle as a capitalist, as someone who believes in capitalism. But at the same time, if the people are suffering, what other choice is there? And I ask you to think about that, because when I come into office, that is going to be one of the first things that we have to discuss.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. That answers all my questions.
Let's say thank you very much for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Keep up the good work. You're a blessing to this city.
All right, gentlemen, I had one question also submitted to me just while I still had the questions open. So this will be our final question.
Who submitted it?
Actually, I don't know.
I bet it's Angel.
It was not Angel.
Good.
All right, so the question is, what is each candidate's plan for the respective PD budgets, and how will the size of the PD budget affect civilians' pay? The individual specifically cited a TRT budget of $6 million.
Oh. May I, I'll stop first.
Yeah, Nino, why don't you go with this one?
I don't know where the $6 million came from. As far as I'm aware, they don't have anywhere close to that. Under my administration, we managed to go from, I want to say, about negative $35 million in debt to we're now sitting at about $140 million, and that's after the increases in pay for EMS and doctors, increased pay for the police department, maxing out all the pay for all the jobs around Los Santos County, and reducing the taxes. Regardless of how much money the city is bringing in, a large part due to the recycling program, the budget that the police department gets is via the arrests that they make. I believe they make about 25% of the fines. And any sort of additional budget needs to be a request. So, there is no direct relationship. A request would need to be brought in. Does that answer the question? Because I feel like that's what it was directing towards.
I think you definitely illuminated on it. Does anyone else have any input about how they would direct PD's budget and how they would operate it?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So first week in office, one of the things that's important is making sure that the BCSO is taken care of. As soon as I'm in office, I already informed them at their meeting that there will be a pay cut so that I can assess their value. Why would I pay a PD that isn't doing anything to support and protect the public trust? That's why I will call it Hell Week, and they will have to make their arrests. They'll have to prove their worth. If they wish to maintain being paid $1,700 an hour, $1,800
Wait, it's only
an
BCSO?
hour, they're going to have to work for it, just like any other citizen would.
Yeah.
Other two candidates, any comments?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer this one. You know, as I said at the very beginning of this debate, my plan is to put as much reasonable money as I can back into the community, and the Los Santos Police Department is a very integral part of that community. And I am very thrilled to hear that we have so much money in the current county budget. It is a reflection of a lot of change that has occurred over the past several months. I would very much like to see more of that money go back into the hands of the LSPD for all of the very hard work that they do, and the, I'll just say it, whole heap of bullshit that they sometimes have to put up with.
So myself personally, I'm gonna buff every major police organization. Y'all are gonna get a big buff, better armor, better guns, better cars, faster cars, better radios, whatever you guys want.
Hey.
And that's my promise to you.
Listen, the police, you guys provide a service. We need more of that money going to events, the music industry. I know that there's an entire fucking crisis at the tuna shop with pots busting. We need to subsidize that shit. How many of you guys are car enthusiasts and like going to car shows? Raise your hands. I think some of those prices are way too high, and the state needs to start subsidizing some of those tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 boxes. You know, I think you should be able to get some of those like little fucking pot loot boxes and stop popping them open, you know, provided by Los Santos County. You know, these are the things that we should be thinking about. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, I've been driving my car around and you can barely fucking turn anymore.
All right. I think each of you have brought up very interesting points for your campaign. Is there anything else any of the candidates would like to say as a closing, or would we like to end it here?
Tons.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I could throw in one last thing.
I could do a closer.
You want to do closings? All right, we'll do it pretty quick.
Unless
all right,
auto for
Silas,
car
we'll
parts.
Go down the line again.
Love it.
Yeah, throughout this debate, you guys have heard me touch on the main tenets of my platform and my campaign. And, you know, just to reemphasize those are reestablishing the sense of community that we have, improving relations with the county to our north, while still advocating for LS County's best interests, and really, you know, putting money back into the hands of people that make this city as special as it is.
Yeah.
All right, Butch.
Hey, I don't want to tell you how to vote. Y'all know that I support these two here, Nino Chavez and Kyle Pred. They both have got it. I'm sure Silas here has definitely got some good ideas. But, you know, y'all know what's best for you. I know you'll make the right choice.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Effective. All right, Nino, you're up.
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
It's just a closing statement.
Oh, just a closing.
Now's the time.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for gathering here for the debate. And Judge Greyson, thank you so much for organizing it. It means a lot. Hope to see more of these debates throughout the week. And if you have any questions for me and my cabinet, please do reach out. And please do go out and vote come this Monday.
All right, Fred.
Oh my God, let me tell you. For too long have I been sitting back, watching as the North suffers. The people, no businesses. The entire area, a barren wasteland. Those pussies the BCSO coddled over the public. I will make sure that the people matter again in Blaine County. I know what some of you think about me. Well, Kyle Pred isn't nice. Eve Summers is just so sweet and nice. Who the fuck wants a nice politician to fight for them? What has a nice person ever accomplished? Terrific. The scrapyard? Oh, you know what's real nice about the scrapyard that was open? It's real great that people are able to get the businesses that they have sitting, the business proposals sitting on the Blaine County administration's desks that aren't being approved so that they can make their stuff. But Jesus fucking Christ, where the hell are they going to sell it? Where are they going to sell it? And who runs the scrapyard? Eve Summers runs the scrapyard. It's funny. It's funny how the few friends succeed. It's funny how the few friends get what they want, but when it comes to the public up north, they get nothing. We can no longer sit back and allow for nothing to commence. Legislation, 13 pieces of legislation, nothing submitted for over 2 months. The previous mayor stepped down. Who's to say if Eve gets in office, she won't do the same? We already know that she won't fight for you because she's not here today fighting for herself. How can you trust somebody to represent you that won't even fight for themselves? If Eve doesn't care about you, when she needs your support, why would she care about you when she has
No,
it?
it wasn't.
I brought the pressure that made her crack. How will she stand up for you when she can't stand up for herself or her platform on today's stage? Eve Summers didn't show up to the debate. She ain't gonna show up for you. What makes you think this is a fair and free election when Angel's good friend Eve Summers is skipping a debate like this? I ask you, how is this not rigged in favor of Eve Summers? Blatant, right in front of the people's eyes. For the first time ever, you as a voter have less of a say. You as a voter should have all the say up north and down south. You are a resident of San Andreas. You have a voice. It matters. There is nothing codified. The Andy Jones administration hasn't put out a legislation for, it will actually be tomorrow that it'll be 2+ months. Justice Angel is preventing progression to preserve her own power. Who benefits from a failing and faulting DOJ? The people who currently sit on the top of it. Are you really okay with the process being so long for you to submit legislation, to re-evaluate legislation? Does the DOJ pay for that when they're doing it in the dead of night? Who agreed to have the election process changed? Were you, the voter, sought out and asked your opinion? You should be in an uproar. You should be feeling misled and lied to. Because you know what happened? Everybody, I'm going to tell you this. Would this have happened if I didn't run for mayor? Think about it. Out of all honesty, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. This is a conspiracy to steal the election because everybody knows that I am a threat to the current power structure that benefits the few but disparages and pushes away the many. Think about that to yourself today when you're driving home from this debate. Think about if you're really okay with the current system. Think about how if Eve Summers does get into office instead of Kyle Pred, how the North is actually going to rise. Eve Summers' entire platform is preserving the Northern administration legacy of Andy Jones. What type of, honestly, how does that benefit the people? Because it hasn't benefited them yet. I'm sure if you give it 3 more months, it'll change because they haven't done anything in the last 2. You really need to understand that I am not the perfect man, but I am capable of finding the perfect people to get in the positions to get the job done. When I became the sheriff, everybody laughed at me. Everybody doubted me. Everybody said Kyle Pred can't succeed. And what did I accomplish? The shining jewel that was Blaine County. It was put on the map for the first time ever. The largest police department ever. I won the 2nd sheriff election by over a 98 percentile between the public and the government workers, because people had that much faith and they had that much conviction for what was achieved because they never saw anything like that before. You really need to wake up. You really need to understand that it's not okay for you to have less voting power. That a smoke screen is being blown in front of your eyes. How can anyone sit here and say that this isn't a deliberate attempt to rig the election? My ex-wife, who is Brittany Angel, oversees the election. My ex-wife, who is Brittany Angel, fired me from a department unjustly. My ex-wife, who changed the
Do you see that,
legislation
Happy
in
Beeps?
the dead of night with no input from anyone else to strip you of your rights. If that isn't a vindictive, if that isn't a planned, plotted attack, then what is? They are afraid because I want them to be held accountable for their failures. I want the power dynamic to change from the few to change to the many. I want you to thrive in Blaine County. And if you're not up in Blaine County, I want you to come up to it. What we have to understand is that if you get 3 more months of what the previous administration has, how is it going to be any better than what it was? I mean, I've talked to a lot of you in this crowd. A lot of you have said Eve Summers hasn't even campaigned or approached me yet. I mean, hell, I have it on good authority that the BCSO are the ones that are handling her campaigning for her because they benefit the most from that leadership, from that administration. What exactly are the ideas and the goals of my opponent? What exactly is being promised and going to be done? I mean, her deputy mayor isn't even a resident of Blaine County. Her deputy mayor is Larry Knox, who is going to be taking any orders that come down from Lang Buddha. Ask yourself, do you really see a world where Larry Knox tells Lang Buddha no on anything up north? Ask yourself this, Eve Summers had a close relationship with that gang. What's going to happen? Who's really going to be in charge if Kyle Pred doesn't get elected to mayor of Blaine County? People, I need your support, and I will fight tooth and nail, not just to earn your vote, but to keep your trust in me. And that is what you get when you cast a ballot for Kyle Pred for Blaine County. I will never stop fighting for you. I will be the most relentless beast you've ever seen. Because I don't respond well to these people telling me that things can't be done. Because when I look around at the city, I see a city that needs help more than ever. That hospital, not staffed at all up in Blaine County. How do you even get medical? The businesses not thriving. Taxation at an all-time high for the small people who do stay up there. But hey, as long as the BCSO's paid their 80 votes. I'm not trying to get anyone's support that is BCSO. Because I can point out to you, how many meetings did Andy Jones go to that was the BCSO? How many meetings did she go to that were for you?
Alrighty. I want to thank everyone for coming. I know, I think I could hopefully speak for all 4 of us up here when I say that we all really believe in the idea of a public forum. So appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to spend some time and hear all of us, you know, talk about the great things that we want to do. And we really appreciate it.
And thank you for the candidates taking time out of their day to come and talk with the public.
Thank you so much.
I'll be staying behind if you have any questions about me or my campaign. If you wish to talk to me, I'm available.
I will say all the candidates have been exceptionally available. So if anyone has questions, feel free to come and talk to them at your own time. The polls will open tomorrow, so please keep that in mind. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
All right.
Thank you, Judge Greyson.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. It was good. It's interesting. Hey.
People, wake up and smell the roses.
So, what do you think?
I'm here
Ava,
for
I am
you.
so